So going back to this Washington thing, I got to go over this again. I really do. I just thought they played soft. They had a huge lead in both games. I can't have Isaiah Thomas having 53-point nights. I can't having this guy cussing out the Wizards bench and dropping F-bombs and humiliating them and, you know, getting into it with Morris. Markieff Morris would pound his head in. It's that simple. We talked about it earlier. This guy's from North Philly. He will basically terrorize you, and that little dude has no chance against that 6'10 monster. I don't care what anybody says. Last night, we talked about it on the air. We had somebody tell us that Thomas is tougher than you think. I don't care what anyone says. He's not beating up that 6'10 goon, Morris. And I am telling you, something's going to break out in those games in D.C. These two teams hate each other's guts. Morris is already throwing Horford around like a rag doll, and he's getting into it with Thomas. And these guys have to get more productivity. They don't let their top bench guy that shoots and scores. The reason they got Bogdanovich was to score, and they give him 8 minutes and no shots, and they don't play him because he doesn't play defense. No one on that team played defense. I mean, if you got him to score, let him shoot, bring him in. I mean, they played Brandon Jennings more, and he did absolutely nothing. I thought Smith played better off of the bench, but that's not the guy that usually produces for him. I just think Wall shouldn't have shot the last shot. I thought Beal had a horrible night, and the Celtics are basically mocking Beal that they can handle him. When he's on the floor, they're like, he's not scoring against us. So they've made a mockery of this team. They owned them. They killed them in Boston. And Washington had better show up for these two games in D.C., or they're going to get swept right out of it. I don't think that's going to happen. I think the Wizards show up big time against Boston tomorrow night. It's either that or they're dead meat.